When you live in the Newbury Park community in Ventura County, you might just think you're in paradise. However, no place is perfect. We're going to give you the whole story here, the pros and the cons. On the pro side with Newbury Park is the location. You're only 53 miles to Santa Barbara, 45 miles to downtown LA, 10 miles to Point Mugu State Beach, 23 miles to Malibu. So you're convenient to all these beautiful locations, including the Santa Monica National Mountain.
On the downside, there isn't an Amtrak station and there's limited buses for transportation, so you're really going to need a car. And while Newbury Park doesn't have a lot of traffic, when you get out of it, you start seeing that the traffic is increasing, especially on your way to LA.
Yeah, even if you were trying to get somewhere closer like Ventura or the outlet mall in Camarillo, sometimes that traffic can get bad on the 101 and make things a lot longer than you would think it would be. Big pro for Newbury Park is all the amazing outdoor recreation. It backs up to the Santa Monica National Mountains. We love to go hiking there with our dogs. And you're also such an easy drive to the ocean and some of the most beautiful beaches in Southern California. On the downside to that, though, is that there's not going to be a ton of nightlife here. So if you want things after dark, you're probably going to end up driving to Los Angeles or to Ventura. If you do go to one of the few bars here in town, it's going to be like Cheers. You're going to see a lot of the same people over and over, which could be a positive.
Also, being so close to all of that open space, you're going to have coyotes coming out and into the neighborhood all of the time. And you're going to want to make sure that your animals are indoor, especially at night.
Yeah, the coyotes are so common. I noticed one guy next door finally said, look, let's no more coyote sightings. There's so many coyotes. We don't need to hear it again and again every time someone sees a coyote. Con for Newbury Park, as with a lot of other places in Southern California, is the cost of living is substantially higher than the rest of the country, mainly due to utilities, gas, insurance, real estate prices, and taxes.
Now, the median home price in Newbury Park is around $1 million currently. However, we feel it's kind of skewed because you have those planned developments, and those developments are much higher than the neighborhoods that don't have an HOA. And there's a section that were built in the 50s and 60s and another section built in the 70s and 80s. And depending on what street you're on, there may be some that haven't been upkept or remodeled at all. And those tend to bring down that medium home value.
Another con to this area, or it can be a pro, is, hey, there's a lot of beautiful trees, oak trees, and you could have some on your property or other types of protected trees. However, you have to hire an arborist and get a permit to trim those trees. And that can be costly, anywhere from $200 to $1,500, depending on the complexity of the trimming.
And also, you're going to want to plan ahead because you're only allowed to trim those trees between December and March. Another thing about these communities, which some people can see as a downside and other people might see it as a positive, you don't have a lot of crossover. When you have a planned community that has a pool and pickleball court in some of them, playgrounds, parks, you don't have a lot of reason to go outside of your neighborhood to meet other people. So while in other cities, you have a downtown or a gathering center where you really mix and mingle with other people, you have the rec center here, but that's about it.
The one exception to that might be the Santa Monica National Park area. Whenever we go there, people are super friendly and we seem to chat up, with someone there. That's a great area. Everyone's in such a good mood.
But one thing we have heard over and over again is that if you're single and middle-aged, it is difficult to meet other people.
Right. A big pro for Newbury Park is its own special microclimate. It backs up to the mountains. It gets more ocean breezes. So it's going to be around 5 degrees cooler than the rest of Thousand Oaks, 10 degrees cooler than Westlake Village. It's still going to get really hot here in the summer. You're going to need air conditioning, but it will be cooler than those areas. It gives you a little more relief.
However, we're still in Southern California where there is a drought and things get really dry around here and can be a cause for stress because of wildfires. Schools around here are rated A+, but it's mixed in with Thousand Oaks. And when you really look at each school individually, it can range from average to excellent, depending on which neighborhood you're living in. The positive is you do have a choice around here and you can choose to go to a school that isn't your neighborhood school. However, you're put on a lottery, so it's not guaranteed.
According to the FBI, a pro for Newbury Park is It's going to be safer than most communities in the United States for property crime and violent crime.
And that was confirmed when we looked at our online crime map, which we like to give all of our clients to take a look at. Well, there are a lot of pros. Now we've given you some cons about living in Newbury Park, but the best way to figure out if it's right for you is coming on over and seeing it for yourself.
And if you are looking at real estate out in Ventura County, we are real estate agents and we are people. We would love to help you. Give us a call.